This is my life.
Because I'm such an editor, like I'll write something and then go back like 2 days later and be like, that doesn't make sense. No, edit this out. And I think that's the most challenging part, because sometimes I can just become so discouraged that I'm like, forget it. But I'll know, and I think it takes a while, because I know that a song needs to be released when like a week or two later, like whether I've gone back and listened to it or not, like I'm still thinking about the song, I'm still listening. When I said listening, I mean listening in my head. I don't know if y'all do that, like if you listen to music in your head.
No, not yet.
Okay, I'm like, it's strange.
A little bit. It's alright though.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
But like I can hear the songs in my head, so if I'm still listening in my head, then I know that that's all right. That's something I have to do. I think that's probably the most frustrating part with me. I mean, y'all know, if y'all watch the YouTube channel, y'all know me working with these producers and these musicians. That is super hard too. But at that point, the song is really written. That is more of the creative process, and it's mostly because of like my insecurities and me not wanting to be like, no, do it like this. Because I'm like, oh, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
No, we actually were watching a video of you talking about that very thing, about how sometimes it's so challenging to sort of let people in on that creative process and sort of allow them to sort of have an opinion about something so sacred
to you. It's like a vulnerable kind of expression, like releasing your music, like, hey, this is an idea I have in my head. Hey, Adele and Gary, shout out to them, bringing it before them, like, all right, now pick it all apart. You kind of explaining that, like, how it was. So it was really dope seeing that.
Yeah, I'm like, it's mine. Touch it. And I want them to touch it. But the funny thing is that Gary's the type that's like, it's amazing. Doesn't matter what I show him, any song, he's like, it's amazing. It's amazing. And then later he's like, but fix this. On the side, like, but change this. And Adele is like, I don't know what to do with this. Okay, I have to figure. He's more. He doesn't give me always the response I'm looking for, like the yay. But I know that he's interested, because he really wouldn't respond at all if he didn't want to work on it. So, yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. I'm glad we touched on the show a bit, because that's where we're about to transition to.
Oh, yeah.
And for those of you who's listening right now and the names Adele and Gary sound unfamiliar to you, you will definitely get well acquainted with them if you watch Naomi Raine's show on YouTube, which I, got the opportunity to watch over the weekend. I've literally been binging the show, and it's really great, just the quality of it and everything like that. How did that show even get started?
Listen, so I wanted to do this documentary on that would lead up or kind of show this process of me kind of getting to a concert about the father's heart. And so orphans and just because there's an orphan spirit in the church, and many people are rejected and abandoned and they live in that. And I really just wanted to show the father's heart. But then I had so many people who had grown up in foster care, and I felt it's a really big issue, especially in New York City. A lot of children die in foster care. Wow. So for me, I was like, I need to say something about, not that I'm directly affected, but I know a lot of people. My nephew is adopted, and I just know a lot of people, so I wanted to do that. So I connected with Tamika, and I'm like, hey, I want to do this. What do you think? She's like, this sounds great. Let's do it. Well, as you can see, that has not happened yet. But she just began to come and say, okay, let's start filming you. Let's see what the story really is. And as she came to the rehearsals and we started to we're still really figuring out what we want to show and what really is the most important, because I don't want to just be a reality person, YouTube star. I don't want that. I want people to see what's really going on, and then also kind of get something, kind of get the nuggets we get, and so I think we've been kind of successful in capturing something that's meaningful.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Reality TV probably isn't the right word for it, because it's not a bunch of ratchetness at all or anything like that. Naomi's not throwing no drinks in nobody's face. She's throwing the glory, on the people who watch her and stuff like that. And it's just great, seeing behind the scenes how you come up with the songs, how you interact with your band, even, you introduce them and things like that. So it's awesome. Even your family, which is great, meeting your family. your husband, your children. And one moment in particular, you were talking about your oldest daughter, I believe, April. You mentioned that she saved your life, and I saw that. I was like, oh wow, I want to know more about this. Would you be able to expound more on what you meant by that?
Yeah, I mean, I got pregnant out of wedlock. So when I got pregnant, I was in a church. I was in a mega church, a big church, and I was singing there. And I was really comfortable there. And it was the type of place where you could just stay and be forever. And there are not a lot of opportunities outside of that, because it was the kind of place like when you're there, and that's just it. And I'm trying to be, nice, and maybe I can cut that part. But and I really don't mind if you do or don't. But when I got pregnant, of course, I got sat down, and it was the best thing, because at that moment I was faced with the fact that, like, nay, it's bigger than the fact that you lie or you might curse from time to time. Like, you a sinner, like, you need Jesus, and that, like, showed me, and the Lord really, really walked me through this process of redemption, where I was able to see, because sometimes I feel like when we grow up in church and we just try to do what's right, we can't even see that we need Jesus. We think we just need him because it's like, I like that person, I'm not supposed to, like, it's bigger than that. Like, we are not worthy. And so, like, she really allowed me to see that God could take something that was terrible and wrong and bring something beautiful and amazing from it. And, like, there's no way I could say that my daughter is not, like, that she wasn't supposed to be here. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, and I don't, God does not wink at sin. He's not like, go. But, like, you can't tell me, like, the Lord used my disrespectful self and my husband, our sin and our mess ups to show us his love and his kindness and his grace in the midst of it. And I mean, she saved my life, because honestly, I would have been still in that church, stuck there. I would not be doing what I'm doing now. I would not really be able to tap into the greatness that was inside. And this is nothing, and I don't even know if I'll be able to I don't even know if we'll be able to get all of what God really has inside of us. I think it's a life journey, but I know I would have still been stuck in there. And mind you, I would have been like a big fish in a really small pond, because we thought it was everything. We thought that it was there's no life outside of here, but there is. I'd have just been in there. I wouldn't even be with y'all right now.
Oh wow! That is awesome. Sometimes God does use certain things or situations to kind of change our perspective and see things. So that's definitely awesome and beautiful.
No, that's one of my favorite qualities about God, is his redemption power. Like, he will take something that you think is so ugly that you even sometimes might be ashamed of, and take it and say, no, I'm going to make this beautiful. I love that. I love that story.
Absolutely.
He's good.
And speaking of your children, you have two other kids, right? Two other boys. Have you, like, seen any future psalmists in the making yet, or any of them taking up mommy's mantle?
I mean, Caden is definitely interested in music, and he likes to sing, but he's in a no phase. Like, he's good at baseball, but I don't want to play. He's good at like music and keeping beat. You want to play the drums? No. Like, everything is no. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna let you live. April really is the one. Now she's listening to Michael Jackson, and so she's in the next room just singing the whole History album, History 1 and 2. And I'm like, wow. Really? Like, she loves to sing, and Savy loves to sing too. They listen to music every night. Wait, Caden wakes up in the morning, and today he was shouting. Like, we don't even shout. He was like worshiping and praising. There's times when he gets in trouble, he'll go upstairs and put on his worship music. And he's up there jumping around. And I'm like, where did we get you from? But they love him. Savy's 4, but he's the prophetic one. He's the one where we're in the room talking, and you'll ask him, like, should I do this? Or what are they gonna do? And he'll be like, they're gonna go over there. And then, like, 2 minutes later, it's like, that's exactly what happened. And we're like, what?
Wow.
That's dope. He even got like the prophet aura too, like that confidence, like this is what's gonna happen.
Yes, this kid is too much.
That's amazing.
I love that. I love how kids have so separate personalities. Like sometimes you nurture them in a certain way, but who they are just comes out naturally.
It's like, who taught you this?
Right.
I didn't.
Right.
Where'd you get this from?
So, moving on, we do want to take a moment to congratulate you on your album charting number 17 on the gospel album sales. So, congratulations to you.
Yes, Heart Songs Volume 2. Did I say that right?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. What was the process in getting that album out, and how do you feel about the reception it's received so far?
The process in getting that album out, actually, it was really fun. We worked hard, but I can't really say it was like super tough. We just did the music. I did the music that I wanted to do, not what people expected me to do. I did worship music, but still, like, I kind of had like my style, you know, and it wasn't like a live album, which I think people expected from me, which will come. But anyway, it was good. It was a good process. I think we went back and forth. There were only supposed to be 3 songs.
Oh, wow.
That's why, I mean, people get mad because it's really only like 5 maybe. But yeah, we added, I think Pour Me Out was like going to be the last song. That was a last minute thing.
Really?
And I wrote like, it was
Pour
not
Me Out.
Yes.
Was the last minute song.
Last minute. And I hit Gary up. I'm like, Gary, so we have to do it. Wow. Let him hear it, and then we did it live, and the whole room was like, we all were like, ah. So you know, we knew we ended. Then we record. So it took longer than it was supposed to, but for some reason, I just knew like, don't rush this, and the timing was perfect. I ended up going to ANWA. Y'all know Dr. Matthew Stevenson.
Yeah.
You ever heard of him? Well, at his church, went to Deeper Still with Woody Vereen, wrote Now and Forever there. And I'm like, I gotta do that. You know, so it happened like that. When the music was done, put it out. But it was at the perfect time where it could, like, you know, qualify for certain things and set us up. Got me to the Dove Awards. Woo! And when I went there, that's when I met Todd Delaney. Am I getting ahead?
No, go for it. Go for it.
So because of like the way it worked out, Pour Me Out came out like the day before I went there. And so when I went there, sang, that's where that video is, where people are sharing of me singing it before this panel. On that panel was the VP of E1. She said, I want you to meet Todd. I met with Todd. I sang him the song. And he was like, oh, it's a nice song. I want to say maybe a week or 2 later, he was calling me like, I want to record a song. He's like, are you okay with that?
Sorry, baby. What do you mean you sang him the song? Was it like you just went, y'all like in a room and you got like an acoustic guitar or something?
Yeah, so Gina, she called us into, that's the VP, she called us into this hotel. And she's like, come on, let's get a room. We went to this room. Todd was there. He was sick, actually.
Wow.
He wasn't feeling well, and he was getting ready to sing at the Dove Awards the next day. And we went in that room. He was like, okay, you know, we talked a little bit, and then she was like, no, I don't want to play the song. I want you to sing it. So I had do you understand that I had my guitar the whole time through the Dove Awards?
Wow.
And my manager was like, bring your guitar. I'm like, I don't want to bring my guitar. It's stupid. I'm not going to walk around with a dress on and my guitar. She was like, bring your guitar. I walked around with that guitar. But I'm grateful I did, because we ended up meeting at that hotel. And I sang it for Todd. He said, I like it. He showed me some stuff on the guitar. And we talked, and that was it. Then I get the phone call like, Todd Delaney wants to record. I'm like, what?
Wow.
And my minister of music at the time I was at, Alan Stanley, was like, you want me to give him your number? I'm like, yeah. Because I still was like, that's my baby. I don't want to, you know. But when Todd called me, he was like, listen, I understand. Like, that's your baby. That's your song. But I really believe that the song is for the world. And I'm like, I believe that too. I'm not worldwide. I'm not at his level, you know. But he can take the song further. And it's not about me. It's, you know, I feel like if the Lord is going to use you to do something, like, you got to be willing to admit that you probably are not at a place that can really get it. Like, sometimes we hear these words or we see these things, but we think it's really going to always involve just us. And many times it's beyond that. And one thing I had to realize was that, yo, like, this is not the only song in the world, and you can't hold on to something when it's meant for them. It's not meant for me. It's not meant for my glory. And funny enough, that's what the song is saying. I don't want glory. I don't need that. I want God to get the glory. At the end of the day, he wrote the song. We want to be honest. And, you know, he'll get it. And
wow.
This is my life.